I'm Thomas, Scottish Boxing News, here with Kash. Farooq, Kash, how are we doing today?
I'm feeling well, are you? I'm alright.
Not too bad, nice sunny day, can't complain. So last week sort of officially announced that you've got a new opponent for your British title fight. How did it sort of come about, the whole process?
Obviously I've been in for about last 7-8 months, well, focusing on Josh Whale, and obviously now it's good to get an opponent, you know what I mean, and I can just focus on Jamie Wilson, because I think Josh Whale got injured around March time, and obviously before that was 3-4 months I knew it was going to be Josh Whale, you know what I mean, my mindset, I'm just focusing on how to obviously game plan to beat him, you know what I mean, and obviously just working on everything, you know what I mean, he was going to bring on the night, but after that it was 3-4 months, we were just waiting for a date, and it was so long, you know what I mean, and we wouldn't, you know what I mean, we wouldn't go anywhere from that, you know, so obviously it's good to, you know what I mean, get a date and a time and an opponent, you know, you could look forward to, you know.
Did you sort of start think like after a couple of months that something might be happening and there might be a change at all?
No, well, I knew Josh was going to, obviously his last defence, I knew it was going to be him end of the day, because, you know, I knew it was going to be him no matter what. But obviously I was quite shocked when he vacated the title and went for the world ranking. And after that, obviously my manager had to get someone in, you know, and obviously Jamie Wilson, you know, I mean, it's all Scottish class, you couldn't get asked for anything better, you know.
Yeah, especially because he challenged for the British belt. Josh Whale first time, I think.
No, definitely, and what do you call that? He was the one who took Josh Whale on the distance. A lot of people thought he'd beat him, and you know, and it's going to be a good, interesting fight for me.
Yeah, he's obviously someone that you know and have sparred with before. Is that something you can say, or he's a known quantity, or do you not want to look too much into sparring?
No, I've not looked too much into sparring, or even his last fight, or even Josh Whale's fight. I'm just looking at him on the night, to be honest. You know, every fight's different. You know what I mean? You go into, and obviously he never had the best of performances last fight. You know, I boxed his opponent. Obviously, I did a job with him in 2 rounds, but I don't look at that, to be honest. You know, and I'm just looking for the best Jamie Wilson on the night on 27th. That's what I'm preparing for.
Yeah, you're looking forward to doing it sort of at home as well,
right? Like I said, it says all for my friends, family, and obviously my people travelling down. You know what I mean? Oh, well, it was Doncaster was meant to box, and you know what I mean, it's around your footstep doors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're boxing right in front of your hometown, you know, so can you ask for anything better?
Yeah, especially like a Scottish clash as well for British title. It don't come about every
no, it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I mean, a British title right in your home backyard. You know, I mean, you don't get that anymore like that. So I'm really over the moon with this. You know, looking forward to it.
How long have you actually known Jamie for?
I think the first time I sparred him was when I was just about turning professional. I think that must have been about 3 years ago, as far as I can remember. And you know, I think he was boxing at that time. I think he was boxing for the Commonwealth title. Or I think did he box for?
Yeah, it was Commonwealth first, and then I think the British.
I think what do you call it? I think at that time he was just going. He boxed for a Commonwealth title. He was just going to box for a Commonwealth title. That's the first time obviously I got sparred him, and I was just turning professional, and you know, and that's when I obviously met him.
Yeah. He's obviously slightly more experienced than you. He's sort of been in these bigger title fights before. Is that something that you?
Of course, you know, I mean, obviously I've done the last couple of fights, I've done 2 10 rounds, so obviously that's kind of put me in good stride, and obviously Jamie's got experience, but I always say to myself, it's always on the night you need to perform no matter what. I'm experienced, you go behind you, you'll need to on the night, you know, and I believe I'm up and coming, and you know what I mean, and I'm hungry, you know what I mean, to win this title, definitely.
You were saying just before, it's I think 10 weeks exactly till the date from when we're filming it today. Is it hard focusing on that date so much and then putting so much pressure on that specific day, like you've got to be your best on that day?
I think obviously when you got date and time, and I know it's 10 weeks a long time, you know, I mean, it's about near enough 2 months and a bit, but when you've got date and time and an opponent, always to train is much easier, you know, I mean, you're really motivated. These type of fights, that's what motivates, you know what I mean, and you're right up for it, because you know what I mean, these opportunities don't come around, you know what I mean, a lifetime, especially a British town, your home yard, and you know, against the Scottish Fire, you know, you can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, especially under like a place that you know as well.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Boxer, obviously, most of my fights have been in there, and you know, it's based in my own yard, you know what I mean, and no, definitely.
Have your sort of friends and family sort of reacted with
obviously, it's, you know what I mean, it's a big opportunity for me, and they're all looking forward to the fight, you know, and you know, it's a British title show. You know, and they're over the moon with me. I mean, it's a big thing, especially in my gym is also tired. You know, and it's a big thing for me going for a British title shot. You know, it's really big.
Yeah. Elsewhere, sort of in your stable as well, as if Jordan McCorry's obviously been putting eliminator as well. Obviously not a final, or even if Liam Woodstock doesn't.
Well, I think he's got a purse bid. I think 5th of August. Obviously, he needs to wait around then. But obviously, he's at that stage now as well. He's not gonna knocking on big fights. You know, I mean, obviously, it'll be Leon Woodstock or either what do you call it? Be boxing Sam Bolden. So he's no matter what, he's gonna be in the big fights. His next few fights or whatever. His next fight's gonna be a big fight. You know, and obviously a great opportunity for him. You know.
Yeah. Does that help sort of having those sort of people around you just bouncing off each other?
Obviously, you know, I mean, you're not a competition, but obviously it's good to have that type of thing around you, and you know, I mean, people at that level, you know, I mean, box for titles, and obviously you're always competing in that, you know, with them, you know, and obviously motivates you as well.
Yeah. Have you had much sort of media attention since it's been announced, or?
No, not yet. Obviously, not yet. Obviously, you're the first guy. Start. Obviously, still a while to go. Don't get me wrong. Still about 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
10 weeks. Still a while to go. Obviously, but obviously near the fight, obviously you start getting more attention. You know, I mean, people ask you obviously things, you know, about the fight leading up to it.
Yeah. Is that you in camp just now?
Well, I've been training I didn't even take time off to go to the last fight because I think I only finished the second round, so I was like, I'm just gonna get back in training, just take over until then. Obviously, I found the day and time when I'm gonna be boxing, who I'm boxing, so I was like, I'm just gonna work until, you know, I mean, build into it. Then obviously, maybe just 8-9 weeks to go, maybe stop upping the thing.
Is this your 3rd or 4th camp since like going for this British title shot? Obviously, you had the April one back.
That's right. Well, I was meant to box Josh Whale, I think, in April time, and I started training around maybe just after Christmas, you know what I mean, and obviously after the fight got called off, and you know, I mean, I had to. We didn't know what was going on with Joshua when he's gonna be back out, and I think they said he's gonna his knee was really bad, so he had to take a bit of time off, and then I ended up doing the 6th round, and then obviously I have to wait for this. Now I'm boxing this fight, which is still a wee while away, so I've been training since January, to be honest. I haven't even really took time off.
Yeah. Is it good just for yourself, just getting that fight back in last month in June? It's
just always to just get back into the thing, you know what I mean, the nerves, everything, obviously getting back used to getting in the ring, you know, and obviously I've not really took time off, so I never really build ring rust or nothing like that. It's always when you take a bit of time off, then obviously you start building ring rust, you know, and obviously I've just been in the gym since January, so I've not really built ring rust up.
Yeah. Do you see this as an easier or harder fight than the Josh Whale one for yourself?
Well, obviously, I think obviously it's going to be a hard fight no matter what, because I'm at the British level now, and obviously Jamie Wilson did give me a hard fight, but I think obviously his style makes fight, and I think he suits perfect to my style, and I think obviously on the night it's going to be I see it as a hard fight anyway, you know, and I'm going to train the best Jamie Wilson there is.
Yeah, you've obviously had a few more rounds as well, like getting that experience for yourself. I think this is your 10th fight, this one coming up, so from a personal point of view, able to go the distance if need be.
Definitely, you know, that's what we're training for, to be honest, the distance, you know. I'm not really bothered by the knockout, but if it comes, but obviously you're training for the distance, you know, definitely.
Good stuff. What's your trainer Craig sort of been like with you getting the fight news?
Well, obviously I'm Craig's second fighter, since obviously I've been Craig's second fighter when I joined him. First it was Stephen Ray, I used to train with him. Obviously when I came with him, obviously, you know, I mean, it took time for me to develop with him, but since I've been with him, you know, I mean, we went from leaps to bounds, you know, I mean, and I've been basically his first Scottish champion, you know, and obviously we gel off each other well, and you know, I mean, he tells me, listen, is this working, Kash? And obviously, you know, he basically tells me, listen, you know, listen, is this working? You know, it gives me, obviously, he doesn't want to do all his way. It gives me think, listen, is this working or not? You know, and you know, it gives me a lot of time, definitely, you know.
Yeah. How important is that relationship between sort of your trainer and the boxer?
No, I think you need that in boxing, definitely, because boxing is hard enough, you know what I mean, and obviously you've gone into a fight, you know what I mean, and in the changing rooms, you need that type of relationship with your trainer, to trust in him. You need that in the corner, definitely. See, if you've not got that, then you're with the wrong trainer, to be honest, you know.
Personally, what do you feel you've improved on most since you started with Craig, like personally, like ability?
I think what do you call that? Obviously, I think he's just made me think about boxing, to be honest. Like obviously you can't just, you know what I mean, always box the back foot, maybe in the front foot. You just can't go one rhythm. You need to always have an open mindset. You know what I mean? You need to plan ahead, what's ahead of you, because you know what I mean. Whatever it is you're doing, 10 rounds or 12 rounds, you need to think ahead. So it's always me. He's basically open my mind with boxing, you know. And obviously it trains you hard as well.
elsewhere, sort of in the division, I think you've got Ian Butcher looking at a Commonwealth title shot. It's good for Scottish boxing, I guess.
No, definitely. Obviously, it'd be good if he wins that. You know, what I mean, it sets up. Obviously, if I win my fight, you know, it sets up good fights for both of us. You know, and you need them type of fights. You know, what I mean, obviously, for him to win it, for me to win it, opens a bigger opportunity for both of us. You know, so these fights should not be involved in, definitely.
Yeah,
you know?
I think he's putting eliminated, but I think they're not looking at. Obviously, because they're the mandatory for Commonwealth, I think they're rather than going through the British route. But and I think when I've spoken to him before, he's been keen for if you both came out on the right side of it.
No, definitely, because it makes sense. You know, I mean, one's got British, one's got Commonwealth. It makes sense for obviously to box each other. You know.
Does it feel weird, sort of being in these positions, talking about this title, that title, and?
Nah, I don't know. I'm just obviously I've took a fight at a time. I've never obviously don't experience 70-10 pro, but I've just took a fight at a time. I'm just seeing where I'll go from here, you know. And I've never looked. I'm gonna win this, win that. I'm gonna take this fight at a time and see where I go from there, you know. That's all. That's the way my mentality is through boxing.
Yeah. Is it easy to get carried away with that sort of?
Well, my mindset is always saying one thing. I was like, I've got that fight in me. Let me get through that. Then I'll think about the next one. I've never really thought about what's. After this fight, I'm going to do this and that. I've always said, let me get through this fight, then you can ask me the questions after that, you know?
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be there afterwards if... elsewhere as well, with the Celtic title being fought between Gary Ray and Scott Allen. Scott's obviously someone you fought, and I think you sparred...
I sparred hundreds of rounds with Gary Ray, that's right.
How do you see that contest going?
Obviously, Scott Allen's got experience on him, and obviously Gary Ray's a bigger boy, you know what I mean? I think it's a very interesting fight because one's got experience and one's obviously the bigger boy and can punch really hard, and obviously it just depends on the night who turns up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is that making weight, how important is that for size difference and things like that?
Definitely. See, the low weights, you need to do the weight right in boxing, you need to do the weight right because it's a longer distance, you know what I mean? And that obviously time, but if you've done the weight wrong, you end up getting tired in the later rounds, and you know, and you need to do the weight right no matter what.
Yeah. Is that something you've ever struggled with at all?
No, but obviously the last couple of pounds, obviously every fighter does, you know what I mean? They're not, you know, obviously you need to obviously do that right way. You can't just whip all the way off the last week or something, you know, then, you know what I mean, then you're not going to perform well. You always bring it down gradually and do the right time, do the right way.
Yeah. Somebody else is a bantamweight up here, Lee McGregor, obviously picking up title back in June now. He's someone else that you've sparred with and know from your amateur days as well?
No, you know, but definitely Lee's a good boy as well. I think obviously Lee's got a TV behind him and everything. I think that's another good fight for me as well, you know, and obviously other bantamweights as well. And you know, I think Lee's a good friend of mine, and I think he's a cracking fighter. Obviously, whenever the time's right, you know, we can always box, you know, definitely.
Yeah, I think him and his trainer Shane McGuigan have been pretty vocal about them wanting the British title at some point.
You know, obviously I need to get through Jamie Wilson before I can start talking about that fight. You know, obviously they're in a position, obviously they can talk, obviously because they've went through the last opponent. I need to get through past Jamie Wilson before I can start talking about other fighters. You know.
Obviously the bantamweight super series as well is not too far away. All the fighters I think have been named for bantamweight. How do you see that going?
Well, I think there's a right good fight. You can't really choose who's gonna win it, to be honest, because you know all of them are good fighters. Every one of them in there. Obviously, I've sparred Ryan Burnett, and obviously Ryan Burnett was really good. You know, he was world class when I obviously went down and sparred him. But there's a lot of good fighters in there, and obviously like that, you can't really choose who's gonna win. You know, so it'd be interesting who comes on top.
How was sparring Ryan Burnett? How did that come about?
Obviously, my manager wanted me in best preparation I can for this British title show. He's like, I'm gonna get the best in Britain. That's obviously Ryan Burnett. He's like, I'm gonna go spar, and obviously, I both obviously like, I come down, that'll be more than welcome, and obviously, you know, he was brilliant. I done 2 8 rounds with him, and you know, it was a brilliant experience for me. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
What other sparring have you sort of looked over the last couple of months?
I think Craig's going to obviously sort the next couple of weeks, you know what I mean, try sorting out somewhere, maybe take me down some sparring wherever we can, you know what I mean, banter me or whatever.
Good stuff. Obviously sponsors are a massive help for yourself and getting ready for this title fight.
I can't thank, Porter Security, I can't thank them enough, you know what I mean, I've been a full-time athlete because of them, you know, and you know, I can't do it without them, and the big leagues, you know what I mean, they help every time after my fights, you know. There's Kash Mobiles give me my equipment, you know, there's Bookstore as well, who helped me out my equipment as well and the sweet science about my clothing. So I can't thank all the man off, you know.
Yeah, good stuff. Listen, I'm sure I'll probably catch you before the fight, but enjoy camp as much as you can, and I'll catch you on the other side.
Thanks a lot.